for that. So we're looking at number 26, and we're looking at Ag3P. All right. So does that need a Roman numeral? Yes or no? Ag3, does it need a Roman numeral? Look at Ag. What kind of charge does Ag have? Just a +1. So you don't need a Roman numeral for it, right? So Ag3P is silver phosphide. No Roman numeral. Any questions? All right. Next one. PBS. My favorite TV station. Not. Sorry.
So is it only the first element that's going to be given in a Roman numeral?
Yes. Some of you put a Roman numeral with the second one. It's not required. Because sulfur's always what charge? -2. Okay? So sulfur on this is a -2. So lead has to be a +2, and that's the Roman numeral I need to write for it. So lead 2 sulfide. Lead 2 sulfide. Sometimes I forget to write parentheses, so really, you kind of want to write that. Any questions with that? So now we've got to write the Roman numeral because we've got to say which lead it is. Lead 2, lead 4. Okay, lead 2. All right, lead 2 is going to be what it is. All right, you got to decide which one it is based upon the... really, it's kind of like algebra where you have to solve for x. But these are really easy because you've got 2 choices, sometimes 3 choices that you have to choose between. Don't guess. Usually my students guess wrong. And they get the whole thing wrong. So don't guess. Figure it out. It's not that difficult to figure out what you do if you... All right. The next one's SNO2. Okay. So we don't know S. SN could be a +4 or a +2. All right. Which one is it? Well, we got to look at oxygen. Oxygen's a -2. And we have 2 of them. See, that 2 says we got 2 -2 charges. That's a -4. So which one is it? It's the +4. We'll balance out that -4. So that would be 10,4 oxide. That's what you should have down for that one. 10,4 oxide. All right. D. D is manganese, or Mn, and Cl3. So this could be a bunch of numbers. I'm not going to put them all down there, but they could be a bunch. So we got a lot to choose from, but it'll be really easy because that's a -1. We got 3 of them. That's a -3. So manganese is what charge? +3. Manganese 3 chloride. All right, so you have to write the 3 so that if you have to rewrite it out, then you know what charge it's going to be. That's the reason you have to write it out. Okay, and then next one is probably the most difficult one, is Bi2O3. So bismuth can be a 2 or a 5, I think. 2 or a 5. So which one is it? So we look at the 3. Oxygen's a -2. We got 3 of them. -6. All right.
It's a 3.
It's a 3. I'm sorry, I said 2 or 5. It's a 3 or a 5. So then, this here, 2 times what gives me an opposite of -6? Of course, that's 2 times the 3. So that would be bismuth. 3 oxide. Bismuth 3 oxide. Okay, and then I'll just read out the last one and what it is. F is cobalt 2 chloride. Cobalt 2 chloride. Any questions with that? So there was fair number. Yeah, you're putting numbers behind. Down here you put a 2. You don't need to do that. You're putting 1 behind there. Don't need to do that. Okay? Don't have to put those in. Okay? And remember, Roman numerals just represent charges. Okay. So then we get to the some of them. You got to write the formulas out. Okay? So we're on number 30. So it says nickel 2 oxide. And this is where I've seen a lot of wrong answers. Okay? Nickel 3 oxide. So this is what I would do if you're doing it. I would just go ahead and write the charge above the name. Plus 3 oxide, oxygen, minus 2. So that's when I have to get both of them to what charge? 6. So I need 2 of these, I need 3 of these. So that would be Ni2O3. That would be the formula. Alright? Next one. It says barium fluoride. Okay, so barium fluoride. Barium plus 2 only. And fluorine's a minus 1. So that formula should be BAF2. Okay, kind of getting the hang of it here, seeing how it goes. Alright, so it's kind of repetitive at this point. Tin-4 chloride. Plus 4 chloride. I look up that chlorine and it's a minus 1. I got 4 of them. So SnCl4. Questions you have? So the rest of them I'll just go ahead and give you. D is Ag2S. E is BiCl5. And F is K3N. K3N. Up to this point, we got 4 more to do. Up to this point, do you guys have any questions for me? You want to see? Because you guys will get more practice, and I'll show you a site that's got a lot of excellent ones to do a lot of practice on, and I'll share that site with you. Okay. So, have you go to 34. The first one should be CaCl2. B would be NiI2. C is MnO. And D is ZN3N2. ZN3N2. So we get a little bit more practice with this today with today's assignment. Yes, ma'am.
B, how come it's 2 and not 8?
On which one?
Nickel and iodide.
Nickel and iodide?
Iodide.
Okay, so you want to know about that one? Okay, so nickel 2 iodide.
Oh, but it says 2.
Nickel 2 iodide.
Oh, it says 2, okay.
So this is what a lot of people who missed this one would have put. They would have put it this way. Okay? So there's a fair number of people that see that number Roman numeral and they think that represents how many they have. It never represents how many they have. I mean, that's not what it goes for. It tells you the charge so that you can find out how many of each you need. So it's not this, because the 2 doesn't tell you got 2 of them. It tells you the charge. It identifies the charge. So that's why it's NiI2 on that one. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and give you out a polyatomic ion sheet, and all the rules are the same. Roman numerals still have to be used. You still have to balance charges. Nothing has changed when it comes to writing out the formulas. The charges are always going to be consistently the same. So what we're going to do is we'll just practice through using this polyatomic ion sheet some examples. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just write names of them. We'll just write formulas to begin with. So I'm going to go calcium nitrate. Okay? And the very first thing you'd want to do is identify the charges for both the first ion and the second ion. So what's the charge we need to identify for calcium? Now the first one's probably 98% of the time going to be a metal off the periodic table. So that's where you look first for the first one. So what is calcium's charge? +2. Nitrate. Now, there's that TE ending, and they go in alphabetical order in each column. So you'll have to figure out what column it is, and then to find its charge. So could you guys find nitrate? Should be in the first column, about halfway down. What's its charge? -1. Everybody find nitrate? Okay, so now the next thing we'll do is, before we even write it down here, let's simplify this. How many nitrates are we going to have compared to calciums? 2, right? Everybody agree? Now all it is making this my subscript for nitrate. So all I'm going to do is go Ca, then I'm going to put NO3 down. Okay? I will not write it, I will not put the 2 here without doing something else. So if I put the 2 there, that's not going to work, because I got to show 2 nitrates, and that looks like 32. So what I need to do, if I've got more than one of these ones off the sheet, I need to put it in parentheses and the 2 on the outside. Okay, so that's how these are different from the ones we did. We didn't use parentheses. These will use parentheses if we have to show 2 or more. All right, let's do another one. Ammonium carbonate. Now, this first one is a hard one for people to find because they're looking on the periodic table and there's no such of a metal that's ammonium. So there's only one that's on this polyatomic ion sheet that's in the +1 column, and it's ammonium. So ammonium is a +1. Okay? What's carbonate's charge? -2. Gonna go ahead and balance it. I gotta have 2 ammoniums for every 1 carbonate, right? So then when we write out the formula, it's going to be NH4 2. Okay, I have 2 of them. I got to put in parentheses, and then carbonate CO3. I don't want to put carbonate in parentheses because I don't need to, because I only have to show 1 of them. If I write it out, that shows 1 of them. So that's ammonium carbonate. All right, so I'm going to give you 4 to practice, to see if you can write them out. And the charges, we're just balancing charges. So I'm going to give you 4 here in which to attempt to do. All right, here they are. Right, so I'll give you, I'll come around, help you out. You guys got questions along the way? Yes. So aluminum's a +3 and chlorate's a -1. So you guys are doing a nice job of that and go, oh, I got to multiply that by 3. And then when you come down here, you're not writing the subscript you need to. This is the only subscript you have to write. So you write Al, then chlorate is ClO3. Now this 3, these aren't the same. This 3 and this 3 is not. I haven't done anything with that 3 yet. So you put this in parentheses, and then a 3. Okay? Iron 3. So again, some of you wanting to take this, a lot of you want to write it like this. Because you see that 3 and go, well, I got 3 of those. Okay? You can't. That's not what that represents. That represents the charge of a +3. Phosphate is a -3. So that one's really easy because you just write the 2 side by side and you're done. As they balance out. Scandium is a +3. Chromate is a -2. So I'm going to multiply this by 3, or 2. Multiply this by 3 to get my 6 charge. And this becomes my subscript. So that should be really easy to transition. SC2, CrO4. I got to show 3 of those things. So that would be on that one. And then I'm running out of room, so I'm going to write nickel. I'll do it, you guys can see. Nickel 2 +2, nitrite -1. I need 2 of those -1s. So it's Ni, not 2. I only need 1 of them. And NO2, 2. On that. Okay? So I'm just going to give you one problem to do that you guys can practice some of these concepts, and there's like 5. You just have to do 5. Yesterday you had to do a bunch, or for today. What I want you to do is number 42 on page 183. Number 42, page 183. And then I think if you do that, and I look at that, that will give me a good understanding. If you get 4 of the 5 right, 5 of the 5 right, you're good to go. If you get 1 of the 5 right, no. Okay? So charges balance out just like they did. You might be able to get these done before you go. Okay, so work on that. We'll go over that right away tomorrow. Do a little bit with writing formulas, not a big deal. A little bit with writing formulas, and then probably give you about a 20 problem worksheet to do over the weekend.